Hello everybody, how y'all doing today? I'm Pastor KZ from the All About Favorite channel. Welcome back those of you who are watching regularly, and those of you watching me for the first time, thank you for joining me. I want to start today off giving you an encouraging word for today, and that is no matter what's going on around you, what's going on in your life, there's so many things that's going on in society that distracts you very easily. But I want to say this: no matter what's going on in your life, choose to be happy. You choose to be happy. Don't look for somebody else to make you happy. It's your choice. Now, let's talk about something very important today. And that is, here's a quote that I read. And it is, if you're not growing, you're not living. If you're not growing, you're not living. What that means is at some point you've got to mature. At some point you leave some things behind. That's why in school you get promoted from one grade to the next. If you're not getting promoted, something is going on that you're just not getting it at that level. It's in life, every human being moves to different levels. You don't remain an infant all your life. You move up from being an infant, then you become a toddler. So you move up in life, a preteen, a teenager, a young adult. So in life, you have to grow. And you know what? Sometimes there are people who they don't exhibit that they've grown. And growth does not mean a number in your age, because do you know how many 40 and 50-year-old people who act like they're in their 20s or they're very immature, that just no growth in them? So if you're not growing, you're not living. The statement that I made here, and the reason I quoted that is because I've received some emails regarding this particular topic, and some of the people said that they feel like they're in a rut, like they're stuck, they're not moving. One thing I will say, it is very good that you recognize that you're stuck and in a rut. But the question I have for you is, now that you realize that, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? Nobody can get you out of this rut but you. No one can help you grow or mature except yourself. You've got to have a willingness to make some changes. You've got to first recognize, and that was in this email, recognition. A lot of people don't recognize that you're just not growing. You're in the same level that you were in 25 years ago. Some people are stuck spiritually. They're not growing. They're sitting under ministries that you're not learning anything. Everybody know basic Bible stories. We know about the ark. We know about Jonah and the whale. We know about Daniel and the lion's den. But what are you learning that is going to help you today? What have you been gleaning from all of these teachings and all of these Sundays in church and Bible studies? What have you learned that is going to help you grow while you're here? Because as I said yesterday, everybody has an assignment. You can't fulfill that assignment if you're not growing. Let's just call a thing a thing. It is important that you grow in life so you can develop. And growth does not occur overnight. You don't get there overnight. It requires hard work. The same way you've been staying stuck, you've got to decide that I can't do this no more. I'm not going to stay stuck. It's time for me to grow. It's time for me to move forward with my life. I'm tired of being here. How many of you ever said that? I'm just sick and tired of this. Something has to change. And more than likely, that something that needs to change starts with you. In order for you to move to the next level or a new level, you have got to emotionally prepare your mindset. You got to renew your mind. Some of you are stuck because your mind is all messed up. It's in the wrong places. Your priorities are in the wrong places. You all over the place. Emotional well-being and emotional growth is very important, not to mention spiritual growth. Now, let me be very honest with you on this. When you are aging and getting older, you begin to sit back and have reflections. You begin to look back over your life. Now, I'm going to say something, and this might sting a little bit, but just because you're in your 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, that does not mean your life is over. That does not mean it's too late to change. It does not mean you have to give up, because as long as there's life and breath coming in you, you don't get to decide that I'm just tired, I ain't going to do nothing. So from day to day to day, you do nothing and you just wait for the day of your transition. No, that's not what you need to be doing. Every day you should figure out a way that you can grow or improve upon the state of your life. It's nothing wrong with being 70 years old and deciding, you know what? I think I want to change my hair. I think I want to go out of the country. I want to do something else. You've got to grow. There's a lot of people, senior citizens especially, taking classes, college courses, or taking up a trade. Not because they ever going to go back into the workforce, but it keeps them busy. It keeps their mind alert. A lot of things that we take for granted of is our mind and our body. You're not going to be able to run a marathon all the time when you're in your 80s and 90s, even 50s. You're not going to be able to have the same body structure as you did when you were younger. But that doesn't mean you give up on life. You've got to constantly grow and move forward with your life. Also, there are new levels. There's new opportunities out there all around you to explore so you can grow. Now, let me say this, and I'm not an expert, but I believe that the first sign that you can determine if you're not growing is the very first thing that was said to me in this email. I feel stuck. I feel like I'm in a rut. I feel trapped. Here's some more examples. You begin to say, I just don't want to deal with it no more. So your way of not dealing with things is just to avoid it. That doesn't send the problem away. That doesn't change things. You don't grow just because you avoid dealing with something. Another thing a lot of people say is, I think I am not growing because I am just emotionally drained. I just feel blah. Another sign is when you get to the point where you just really like, you know what? I don't really even care. Whatever. You're not growing anymore. You're stuck somewhere in bitterness, anger, frustration, depression, despondency, discouragement. You stuck somewhere. When you stuck somewhere, anywhere, any of those emotions I named, if you stuck right there and you can't move forward with your life, there is no growth. At some point, you've got to decide, I got to get out of this rut. And another thing people do not want to address is when you feel emotionally drained, that's a problem right there. You're not going to grow. How about this? Have any of you ever just lost interest in things? Just like, you know what? It don't matter no more. You ever had that? You ever said that? This just doesn't matter anymore. Please be careful of that. Yes, some things you just let go of. But when you find yourself feeling that way about most things, most days, you are not growing. You're just existing. Growth involves living. And living life to the fullness and whatever quality of life you may have. No, you're not the person you once was. Everybody get that you're 60, you're 70, you're 80, you're 50. Your body don't work the same way. But you got to keep your mind sharp, your mind alert. You've got to stay active in something. You don't just sit and give up. This is what I'm talking about today. Growth. When I'm talking about growth and maturity and living life, I'm not just talking about, growing older. I'm talking about having a good quality of life, filled with some of the things that you enjoy doing, filled with some joy also. You're just existing and you're not happy, you're miserable, you don't really think positive anymore. You just sit around and you're waiting till the day they call you home. No. That's not growth. If you are not growing, you are not living. Let's live. Let's desire better. Let's desire to travel. Let's desire to want to do something different. Let's desire to go out there and try something you've never done before. That's what I'm talking about today. I don't know what you think about this. Does any of these things hit home with you? Well, I want to be clear on something. Some people in certain situations, it keeps you stuck. Yeah, some people don't want to see you grow. Think about that. That goes back to your circle. If you got people in your circle, every time you aspire to move up to another level or get promoted, even mentally, spiritually, whatever, in your career, those of you who are still in the workforce, when you have people in your circle that is always pulling you back, telling you can't do it, pulling you down, disencouraging you, you're not going to grow in that circle. Every circle you're in, you should expect to grow. You should expect the people in your circle to grow and be able to celebrate with them when they grow, as they are to be able to celebrate with you when you grow. But let me be very clear on something. There's some people don't want to see you grow. There's some people most happiest when they see you giving up. When they see you throwing in the towel, when you depressed all the time and down, they like you better like that. Watch them. Get yourself balanced, find your focus, get clarity of thought. At the end of this video, please comment, like, and share. If you're not watching on if you're watching me on Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok, go over to my YouTube channel and please hit the thumbs up button. Just hit the thumbs up button, like the video, share the video with other people, and on all platforms, hit the like button, and share it with other people. I assure you, if I don't say anything that will make you think one day, the next day I will. Subscribe also to the channel. It won't cost you anything. Thank you so much for watching. Be at peace with yourself. And you know what? Anybody that disturbs or disrupts your peace, you need to reevaluate and reconsider if they should be in your space. Love on yourself. I'll see you back tomorrow.